Um, so I guess we'll kick that to later.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. I guess we should open up with The Rock coming back in New Orleans with Cody Rhodes and, quite frankly, a very bizarre segment, a funny segment, and
Oh my God.
I don't know if I necessarily have an original thought, but I didn't hear anybody else say it in those words that I did, because people seem to be almost, how could you say this, like what my analysis was of it. And I haven't tweeted it or anything, but
Look, this was a mind fuck. This segment that Rock did. It was a meandering mind fuck, and at the same time, it was still like highly entertaining and interesting. And at the same time, it's interesting. He was like, "Oh, so you're doing the same shit the WWE's been doing for the last like 27 years, right? Like there's an evil overlord that wants to rule the championship. Like, oh, how original! They did this shit in 90 fucking 8. Like, right? All right, so Rich, where do you want to start with this, man?
okay, so
You want to go through the whole thing, or you just want to just give just thoughts on it? It's
yeah,
up to you, because I don't even. I watched it one time, so I don't have like I don't have the mind like the full play by play.
I have a detailed
Okay,
you know, deal of it or whatever, but
okay,
let's see
okay.
if
Let's go through it.
let's see if I
Let's
can
go through
open
it.
it in this thing and still keep actually I'm gonna open it in a different window and make sure I
Okay,
don't lose the video in the OBS here.
okay. Because
Give
man,
me
that
one
thing was
second,
a
but
mind fuck.
yeah.
Like I have a segment I can compare it to, and I remember what the words you said about that particular segment, and that thing is so much more cohesive and put together than that one was the other night. And the funny part is, I like both of them still. I like this segment because it was like, this is what the fuck is going on? Do y'all know what the fuck is going on? Oh, it was great. It was a great night.
So The Rock made his ring entrance, and he's making his ring entrance to Lil Wayne. The block is hot. The crowd thinks
Right.
he got Def Rebelled. People on Twitter be like, The Rock has new. They have no idea what he's playing. And almost, the song
I
is
didn't see
old
the
as
response
hell.
to. I didn't see the response to it. All I heard was the block is hot, and I was happy. So I don't, I didn't see the response. But if that had been a response, I would have been like, God damn it! Yeah,
I mean, why
it
would they
did come out
know?
of nine. It did come out in 99. It did come out in
Um,
99. This was before Lil Wayne was a platinum rapper. Fair enough. Whatever else. It's also my favorite Manny Fresh beats of all time. So that it holds a special place in my heart. And then I end up messing the group like the Rock is hot. Like the block is hot, the Rock is like, I'm like, what the hell is he doing right here with this? Like, all the time you talk about like a Rock kind of keeps his blackness at arm's length, and like this is one of the blackest things this nigga's ever done.
yes, like there are domination segments that ain't this black. Like
Right.
like I was like, what the fuck is going on? I was like, and then there was in the post thing, they asked him about it.
Yeah. Yep.
And
Yep.
I heard him kind of bring up the Superdome, nigga. If they bring
Mm-hmm.
Lil Wayne out there next year at the
With
Superdome,
his one dreadlock.
I'll be like, y'all niggas is wave riders. Like,
Hey,
and that
I'm okay with it.
that conversation gonna be dead and gone by then. So all of a sudden we're gonna be left with Lil Wayne here, and it's gonna be like
Rich,
he gonna
it
get a
don't
chance.
matter because
Look, he gonna get a chance
remember.
to prove that he should have got the
Right.
Super Bowl, but he
Right.
not going.
Right. Right. But it's the thing, Rich. He was at WrestleMania this year to bring out the Yeet Man.
Yeah.
And he performed the Millie, right? So for me, I'm fine with it because it's a whole other year of what do you call it? Degradation, degeneration. Man, like he gonna come out there and he ain't gonna remember he gonna remember half the words to whatever he play.
They ain't gonna let him
People
cuss.
gonna be like, remember when y'all was on that bullshit? Okay.
It's gonna be real funny.
Right. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt.
So
It's not like we didn't see the little Louisiana thing from earlier from like in the last year either. We saw that.
Yep. So
Don't stop.
he's doing all this when he comes out. Joe Tessitore sounds like he's a hostage as he's saying this is the most electrifying man in all of entertainment. and the announcers were real subdued. Rock then gets in the ring, salutes the crowd. Rocky chant. Music faded out. He laughed and said, "Oh, don't you feel it?" And he said he got chills up and down his body. For the final boss, to get his bird and fly to New Orleans get inside his bird and fly to New Orleans on a Friday. He's dropping some big news, and he got bleeped. Got another Rocky chant here. He said, "Let's get this show on the road." Struck his pose. He told the fans, "Hold on a second, I'm doing it." The fans laughed. He then led. So he was like in Dwayne Johnson mode. TKO executive here. He said, "Finally, The Rock has come back to New Orleans." He announced that WrestleMania's come back to New Orleans in 2026, April 11th and 12th. Graphic appeared on the big screen. Pyro. Fans chanted, "Holy shit." He started singing "When the Saints Go Marching In." He said this isn't sing along with the final boss. He snaps at him at this point, just on a dime, told him to shut up and let the final boss sing the song. Some people booed, but Rock said they can boo all they want. He went back to singing. Fans sang anyway. He said they were good and it was an amazing duet. Then he shifted into heel mode, and he calls the fans the largest collection of STD having trailer park trash he's ever seen. The fans booed from there. He said dropping the WrestleMania news wasn't the only great gift he was dropping. He said he was there to call someone out. He said he respects and admires this person. That man is our WWE champion. That man is the one and only Cody Rhodes. Cody came out, and there's bizarre energy around all of this. From there, Cody got in the ring, got a big pop, and The Rock said, you have to feel good. He said they love him. Cody said to the crowd, "I love you too." Rock said since WrestleMania last year, he and Cody have actually become good friends. Cody then kind of laughed. The fans booed. The Rock said the last time they were on a show together was Raw on Netflix. He laid flowers by his feet and told everybody that he carried the company like an incredible champion. I said it and I meant it. Cody said he appreciated it. Rock said they went in the back that night and they drank.
Rich, do you see what I'm doing?
2 hours together. I did, yes.
Do you see what I'm doing? Do you know what I'm doing right now?
Are you jumping rope?
I'm The Rock and I'm jumping rope with kayfabe.
Okay.
I'm playing with this fucking thing. I'm just like a boxer,
Yeah.
It just don't matter right now. It don't matter. I'm babyface. I'm heel. It don't matter. Him and MJF going to pro wrestling hell over the next week. Both of them.
He said, we chopped it up. We had a blast. Then he told Cody is a great champion. He knows that. They texted over the months. Their moms have become good friends. They showed photos of Mama Rhodes and Mama Rock after last year's WrestleMania. He said he wanted Cody to know a few things. He said he wanted Cody to understand that he's on the board of TKO and TKO owns WWE. Somebody booed. He turned around and said, "Don't boo that." Like, almost like he was out of character. Like, it was weird. Ari Emanuel, who just became a billionaire, he said Rock's good friend Ari Emanuel owns everything. He said Ari told him he owns WWE. Rock said he doesn't own it, but he's the most powerful. Cody said Rock said he wants Cody to be something that's more than a great champion. "I want you to be my champion." He said Cody at that point was perplexed. He said, "I certainly didn't expect you and I to become friends or the moms to become friends." Cody said, "I didn't have that on my bingo card." He said The Rock should know that he's their champion, essentially casting himself as the new people's champion, which is absurd as he wears a suit. But I guess, this is where we are. Cody chants broke out. Rock said that Cody's the people's champion and this is their universe and they were born into this business. Rock said he knows Cody's goal is to bring as much joy as possible to people around the world. He then asked him how many millions of social media followers he had. Then he said The Rock has 500 million, which is a flagrant lie, but whatever. He said that's not a flex. He said, Rock's higher than him.
Also a blatant lie.
Yeah. But he wants Cody to get up to his level. He said he can open possibilities for him that he didn't know existed. He said if he becomes a champion, every dream he ever had can come true. He came to do Moana 2, and he appreciated it. He said he can make his babies come true when they're in the clouds, when they're dead. He said they're lucky boys who have it all. You know, they're both mama's boys and girl dads. Then all of a sudden, he snapped out of character and threatened to slap the syphilis off somebody's face in the crowd. Uh, he said he was trying to have a moment. He said the one thing he's never had that he wants more than anything is a brother. He said Cody can be that for him. From there, Rock goes on. It says last year his goal was to face his cousin Roman Reigns for the title. When he came back, he talked. So this is more just abusing kayfabe.
Yep.
About to happen.
Yep.
He talked to Triple H and Nick Khan, both his friends. He wanted them to talk to Cody and tell him to step aside because it was best for business. Rock said, "What did you do?" And then he got bleeped. He said, and you looked at him like, "Fuck that." Essentially, he said Cody said he wouldn't do it, and you stood up to me. He also slapped him in front of the world, and no one does that and gets away with it. I guess we're not supposed to remember the part where Cody got out the ring and basically said, "I will not fight you at WrestleMania." We're not bringing that up. He basically said he then touches Cody's chest and says,
"Oh no! I will not fight Roman at WrestleMania." That was before the slap happened. After,
yeah. He let Rock didn't mention the WrestleMania part at all. Like so. Because it's all been retconned, but he touched Cody's chest and said that he should be his champion, and he pitched him to make his dreams come true. He said he did not want Cody to answer him tonight. He should think about it and go home and talk to his wife.
Oh, hold on. Key important part. He says, "No, I don't want this," while touching the belt.
Oh, we getting there.
Okay.
Yeah, he said he'll talk to his wife and he'll meet him at Toronto at Elimination Chamber, and he can give his answer then. Cody looked very stressed and disheveled, and he tried to process all this. The Rock thanked the crowd, said they've been a hot-ass crowd. Before he leaves, he said he wants Cody to know more than anything else in the world. He wants that. And then it looked like he pointed at the WWE title belt. Cody said, "This championship, my belt, this is what this is all about." And Rock said, "No, my brother, I don't want that. I want your soul." And Cody,
and then he put his palm on his cheek and caressed Cody's cheek. It was a good evil touch for somebody that was going all over the place with what his motivations and what his temperament was throughout the night. You have more, or are we done? Or do we now get to
that's it? Pretty much. Cody looked like he was looking at a ghost. Pretty much at that point.
Yeah. He's like, did this nigga just caress my face in front of thousands of people and millions of people watching? What the fuck is going on? That's what that face was. He's like, what is this, nigga? Like,
bro.
I've been in blood feuds, right? I've bled buckets in AEW, New Japan, NWA, all across this country, in WWE. I've never had a nigga caress my face. That's weird.
Right. And then he said, the chat saying, then he kissed Cody's ear. And
is that true? Or are they making
I
sure?
don't know. I don't know if they doing that.
Yeah. Y'all about to be like next. And then he started tongue fucking that man's ear. Like I didn't see none of that. You need to stop. Y'all need to stop. I need to cut the shit. I'm like 99% sure. All right, that 1% makes me know you full of shit. Even trying to start shit on a clip.
So when I saw this, James, I was convinced that one thing happened here. The Rock gave Cody Rhodes the pre-Diddy party Diddy speech.
Okay, I had a different take on what do you call it? Evil corrupting from the top down. I was thinking more like Elon Musk saying, "You can be my president." I thought it felt more like that. Now if you want to envision The Rock with baby oil, I mean, I don't think it's too much of a stretch.
I'm about to say it ain't really. He's always sheened up when he's out there. So,
exactly.
He caressed him on the face. He was like I feel like if you just substitute a couple words, he's like, "Yo, I don't want your belt. I want your soul. Your soul could be." Right. I want your ass. Like it really could be. Right. Like it really
we making
could
jokes
be.
On this. This is what we joking on. I was trying to move aside, but going to.
It really could be. Like I felt like he was telling Cody, "I want you to be mine. out here. That's like what's that song? That Baby Be Mine? This was like, I'm telling you, if we had Tonal Talk on here reviewing this segment, they would be sharing my sentiments here. I don't know if they go to
I
the
don't
Diddy
think they would.
example, but they would definitely feel the energy that I was talking about. This was weird, and this was like, huh. I thought it was just it kind of lines up with a lot of the Rock segments since he's been back. They are chaotic. They are he's clearly doing what he wants.
Yeah,
And there's
there is no what do you call it, narrative overhead or oversight. He just you go out there, you get as much time as you want, go ahead and do your thing.
and then like he'll retcon it like from his phone if he has to.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's gonna happen from here, but it was just like, all right, does he want to wrestle Cody? Does he want to have someone else, like, because presumably there's an elimination chamber match that somebody's going to win to pick Cody? Is there someone that wants to actually be the Rock's champion? Is there, will Cody, maybe Cody does want to be his champion, but who then? Someone's got to get fucked. Who's gonna get fucked here? And then I look.
Okay, you can't hold on. You can't go from talking about all them Diddy jokes, talking about and then use the term someone's going to get fucked. Like I need a separation of the jokes into the actual analysis of what's going on between The Rock, Cody, and inside of WWE. You gotta leave that door when you talk about someone getting fucked. Am I being unfair?
So I'll just change it to screwed then. How about that? Like, someone is going to get jobbed out of their position. But I look at this company, right? And then I'm seeing the critical reception around it. This feels like the time that they're going to try to turn one of these people heel. Like that is circling in this axis. All these over baby faces. It's wide open. Whoever wants to be the top heel or whatever. But this is very risky, I think. Just because you got this many over baby faces, I feel like the temptation is too strong for them to say no to turn somebody. I don't think they should turn anybody, but they are kind of falling into, I think, WWE fans feeling things are kind of samey. So it feels like the writing's on the wall right now. Like someone's turning. I just don't know who it is. It could be CM Punk. It could be Cody. It could be Cena even. I don't know.
Cena turning heel for the last few months of his career
that sounds wild,
idea.
Right?
That is not a good idea. All right, so
and there's like Roman Reigns that's around too.
Yeah. So when he first said it, my initial thought was, okay, well, all right, Cody's a champion. If the plan was so many years ago, Roman versus Rock, and Rock has deemed himself that he can't do this match anymore, what match do you do to involve Rock? You should just do Cody and Roman. You have Rock in one of their corners. But you've already done Cody and Roman with Rock in Roman's corner. And ultimately, all of this really is to get Roman the belt as the babyface. It happened to be a Cody to drop the belt off to turn so he can be a babyface. But ultimately, like, if there was no Cody and never came from AEW, then Roman would eventually have just turned babyface in the middle of this run and been their ace babyface at the time. That's what I felt like, because they had no plan for someone to actually succeed him. So you just have Cody turn heel, and you have Roman chase him, and then you have Rock be the mystery man character. He's Mr. Dwayne, and then Cody is the corporate champion. That's what, and then you can do like, see, he wore the Homelander stuff for 5 years. It finally paid off. He's finally actually a heel, as opposed to this the Cena world of you can boo and cheer who you want to bullshit. So yeah, man, like I think that's where we're headed, and I think that's a good story. It's a story that we've seen a lot in WWE over the last 20, in most of our lifetime.
I was that's
a story they've had since 1998. That was the authority. That was all that.
it's almost like Elimination Chamber is like this inconvenience now, because they have everyone announce like they're gonna switch
Yep.
someone out at the last minute. Like, what's the deal here? Like, because I mean, you could do Cody and Roman again, right? But you've got the Elimination Chamber in a way, and if somebody's winning the Elimination Chamber to fight Cody, who is
No,
it?
no, no. I don't.
Is
No,
it
no, no,
Cena?
no, 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 Rich. No, no, I'm sorry. I don't mean to do it at WrestleMania 41.
42.
This for 42.
Okay.
This for 42. Yeah. Like Rock comes out, like Rock ain't coming out here to announce this in New Orleans for him not to be involved in the one in New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like 40, whatever they do at 41 is whatever. They'll figure that out, and hopefully it's in service of whatever they plan to get to 42. But I think the long-term plan is like, it's Rock versus Roman, and if Rock can't fight the fight himself, it's going to be a proxy for him, and the proxy is going to be the corporate champ.
Where does Seth Rollins fit in all this?
That would be fucking hilarious.
I just wanted to say that.
Because Rock buried the shit out of that man in the build last year in that tag match. Remember that?
I hope.
It's like who? It's like Cody's. Rock was like Cody's the guy, and Seth is just some other guy that just happens to spill a space to do this tag match. That's the way he buried Seth Rollins under the fucking Earth's mantle during the promos on Twitter last year. For him to then become that one, like, yeah, man, you might as well pull up a cup chair, Seth. You ain't never getting your nuts back.
I don't really ever want to see Cody versus The Rock, and I find it funny that if Rock pinned him last year and never gave it back, I would find that funny. But
I would want to see the match because, like, if they did that match, like, I still think nothing tells me that Cody will beat Rock, and they would just Rock be the go home champion. He'd be worse than Brock Lesnar was with that fucking belt. You want a defense at SummerSlam? No. You want a defense at Royal Rumble? No.
Look, there's another world belt.
You will get the next offense will be a 365 days from now, WrestleMania 42.
Yeah. What did you make of him saying that these characters don't have to pay whatever off in a match? I'm like, well, if y'all not gonna ever have a match, then what the fuck is this? Look, if y'all want to keep
is that the press conference?
Yeah, it was, and I was like, if y'all want to keep saying this, right, then I'm gonna believe them. Like, I'm not gonna rage against the machine on how dumb I think that is and everything. Then I'm like, well, you're not talking about pro wrestling then. If it doesn't end up in a match, you're talking about something else.
Well, I think you can get payoffs for certain things in wrestling that don't involve matches, particularly non-wrestlers, right? So if Rock is a non-wrestler, I think that's what he means. But in general, that is absolutely fucking insane. That is something that is wrong, except for exceptions, not the rule.
Like Bobby Heenan versus Hulk Hogan, shit like that.
Right, Jim Cornette put up on the scaffolding to fall off and break his fucking leg, stuff like that, right? Yeah, like, nah. Most of pro wrestling is for people, like, there is a MacGuffin, there is a thing, there is vengeance, and it is to be, rectified via the wrestling match. Or the fight backstage or whatever else. Or not backstage, but like caught on camera that is effectively a wrestling match, but is unsanctioned, whatever the fuck. Yeah. Otherwise, it's like saying a soap opera has no payoffs. Why the fuck are you watching a soap opera with no payoffs?
Right. It would just be foolish.
Right. The villain did something that got over on somebody, and it's been a big secret in town, and 3 people know the secret, and then it never gets out. Why even do it then?
Yeah.
There's no payoff on that.
So I
like,
think.
Well, you never watched this, right? You never watched this. Breaking Bad, right? For multiple years of that show, there was a poison that they had Walter White and the 2 main characters had access to. And for multiple seasons, we were like, how are they gonna? When is this shoe gonna drop where someone gets poisoned and dies based off this substance? It didn't get used for years until the final episode. Because why the fuck would you put it into the show unless it was gonna be used to kill somebody at some point?
Right.
right? Like you putting the Wire, you putting bodies into Vegas. Someone has to get the fucking. Someone has to find the bodies in Vegas.
Correct.
That's how it works.
Another one
Otherwise,
with the
what's the point of
Wire.
even putting in the fucking show?
Another one with the Wire. Cheese being a fuck nigga forever, and then they blow that man's head off the last episode.
Yeah, yeah. Why do I have to suffer all of this stuff with Cheese unless he's going unless the satisfying paying off? He's getting fucking blown away. Yes.
Yeah. It's I don't know, man. I thought the
Do
same.
you ever follow the wiki and find out like, or you ever thought about like that he's actually Randy's
The
dad?
father in this just never mentioned.
Shoot him again.
Yep.
Shoot his. What? Well, that father was probably cremated. Shoot his urn.
Yeah. Bow. But overall thoughts on the segment. I thought it was just kind of. It seemed like a chapter 1 for something. I don't know I don't think it was great or anything, but it was something. Like it was
interesting. It was interesting and bad.
Yeah, it was just like, all right. Like it just feels like, I don't know. It feels like they should have this stuff kind of rolling a little bit faster than they do, but they're not really under pressure.
Where we are in WrestleMania's schedule. I mean, it's nothing about it. Like WrestleMania is not this year. Is a few weeks later than it normally is. It's not the first weekend of April. It's like the 20th and 19th or whatever. So they're further away than you think.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Compared to the normal calendar which makes me think there had to be. Look, who knows what the hell Vegas held them over to for them to have to like hold them dates off 2 more weeks than they wanted to, or 3 more weeks than they wanted to.
Yeah. But I think people, I don't know necessarily how happy your WWE fans are to see The Rock, here, but yeah, I was gonna say I don't know how necessarily happy they are to see him, kind of do this stuff or whatever, but it seems like, for lack of like it, since nothing else is really popping off yet, and we're kind of in between these weeks where we're trying to see, all right, what are the matches? This instantly becomes the most interesting thing.
Yeah. Because really the only match we really have right now is Gunther versus Jay.
And they're like doing all the angles for that now, so you know what that means.
Right.
By the time that shit gets closer, they're going to take the gas off of that shit.
Yeah. I mean, and given as you just mentioned, like that just tells me like they have an answer elimination chamber. Like everything was circling around really elimination chamber. Like we put all the big stars in Royal Rumble. We had a guy that sells a bunch of merch, but isn't one of the big stars in our thought process. Win it. We still gonna go with all the big stars in the chamber, and Rock shows up, and you're gonna have Cody and Rock, or have Cody give Rock an answer at Elimination Chamber. They put all their baskets in, or they put most of their baskets into Elimination Chamber, which is smart. You still give it relevance. And Rock showed up. If it seems like a plan of, all right, we don't know what Rock's decision is on if he was in or out, so we'll just delay all this shit that we can as far as we can until Rock gives a decision one or the other. And either way, this is still a smart thing to do to get people to give a fuck about Elimination Chamber. So Rock showed up, great. Now we have 2 things that people that can really care about a lot when it comes to Elimination Chamber on the road to WrestleMania. Great. It worked out for us. We did this instead of just doing nonsense. So I'm okay with it. And like it's interesting to see. It's interesting to see where this is going to go. I think that's the only part and I think that's the only part that's really interesting. Is like, because there's so many ways it can go wrong. And like if this goes right, then like Rock can probably start like dropping in anytime he wants to every WrestleMania season until he gets tired of it. But if it goes wrong, if it goes wrong, you'd be like, all right, bro, we had this, the fan outrage had to kind of save y'all last year, and now Rock is just dipping his toe in every year. We kind of get sick of this shit. So, but Rock shows up every blue moon. So every time he shows up, the pop goes off like God has arrived to the stadium or the arena. So but only that can only save you so many times.
Well, eventually you gotta get in the ring too. So,
I
look,
mean,
and if he can't get in the ring,
I don't even. I mean, I don't think for them. I don't think for their fan base they care about that. But um, I think that Rock is, you know, if he ain't got it, like if he don't have a plan for this could backfire in his face in a way he never expected. Like I think WWE fans like they like their storylines in a way. And I don't mean like they tell stories. I mean like they like the directions a lot of this stuff is going in, like the interesting matchups for what could be for WrestleMania. If Rock kind of helps blow some of this stuff up, they're going to resent him. You know, like because all that stuff's at play Elimination Chamber, and like something's gonna whatever they had planned. There definitely was contingencies in place for if Rock decide the Rock shoe dropped and the Rock shoe dropped. So if this part of it is less than what the people that watch week to week were hoping for, potentially with some of these matchups, it could lead to resentment. I mean, we've seen it before with the part timers.
yeah,
And we talking about a person that's a part-time manager now at this point, seemingly, or potentially.
yeah.
So you better be careful with this.